Hey there, I'm Ryan Barker. This is my video blog, my vlog for my new student dialogue. The new student dialogue that I attended was Assuming the Unassumable, and that was about how people, or how you should not assume you know a person just because you've met one, or how you don't, just so you don't assume you know a type of people just based on one person, or how you should not be able to look at one person and just judge them on automatically think you know how they act, their values, how they work, or anything just based on how they look or their race. Uh, this question here on Blackboard that says, "Do you feel like your group achieved true dialogue?" Based on the sheet that was distributed during the dialogue, I do feel like our group achieved a true dialogue. Everyone seemed very open, and ideas were bounced around very easily. There was no resistance to ideas, I suppose. Uh, there were active voices in the role or in our dialogue. There was always three or four people that would have like a major something to say aside from the leaders. They always had something insightful to say, not just something to try to distract the group or slow down the group or something that would have been rude to say. They kept us on track as far as thinking in the way that you need to think in a dialogue. There were also more reserved voices. I also played one of those in the group, just because I don't really like to talk a whole lot or in groups. But as far as the other reserved voices, most of them did have something. When they said something, they did have something good to say. They were all they all had something nice to say. The motion energy saver light. They all did have something to say as far as something worth saying. Right? I mean, I guess that's what you should say. Not to sound rude. Uh, I think the dialogue is a component of Library 100 because you're coming into Clemson, you're coming in as a freshman, or you're coming in as a new student or a transfer student from somewhere else, and this just puts you in the mix and lets you talk with everyone, lets you uh, makes you interact with other people, even if you don't necessarily like interacting with people a whole lot. Uh, I do see the dialogue as a necessary tool, most certainly. It was a useful tool in university experience because, like I said, it is something that helps you get to people and talk with people, regardless of whether or not you have previously liked that. Uh, like I myself, I would not have usually sat down with a group of people I did not know and talk about how assuming things about people is something you should not do, just because who who does that? Who on their own reason just goes out and sits down with people they've never met, strangers, and talks about something that is, especially something there are like other dialogue groups more so like something more like hot button you don't want to talk about, stuff like that. I do understand how that would definitely be how the dialogue would definitely be a useful part to that. Uh, but yeah, it's, I really do see how this is most people probably think of it as a necessary evil. The people that do think it's necessary because it's something, you don't really like it, gotta go do it. You have to, something that you're required to do in order to do Library 100. But in the long run, it'll help. I do feel like it'll help people relate more and be more understanding of other people's ideas. Because everybody knows assuming is bad. You don't assume things about people. You don't judge a book by its cover. But if you go in there and people talk about, hey, people judged me based on how I dressed this one time, or people judge me because I'm African American. That's something that people have to deal with that I myself might not have to deal with. So that way I can see how other people have to handle it, and I can grow from that to know that, hey, maybe next time I see somebody wearing a certain thing in Walmart or not wearing a certain thing in Walmart that they should be wearing. Not to judge them based on that, and not to think, oh, this is a worse person. This person is not very intelligent. But yeah, that is why I think that the dialogue is a good thing for new students and transfer students.